Hello everyone, and welcome to the Homesteader's Wife. Well, today I thought I'd spend a few minutes with you and do another needlework podcast. This is my second needlework podcast that I'm going to do for you. And I thought I'd just talk to you for a few minutes and show you what I've been working on. The first thing I have to show you is this. This is my Swatch Bag, where you save all your swatches that you make. That's right, save them, because you can make a fun and interesting bag, but very functional. This is just some of the swatches that I had lying around in my craft room. I thought I would make them into a bag. This is trending right now, by the way. Mine has pockets. I had enough for the pockets, so I put a couple pockets on. But it's so cute, and it's a really, really nice way to save those swatches and sew them together and turn them into something very nice and functional that you could carry around. So if you've got a lot of interesting swatches and you don't know what to do with them, there you go. Now all you do when you get finished sewing these together is you just do a ribbing at the top. I just did a 2x2 rib going around. And then I cast it off and then cast it back on so I could make this handle. But yeah. And what I have in here, is the Scrappy Hat by Bergninette. She's a designer on Instagram. You can find her at Bergninette. You can see my Instagram posts, and I have mentioned her. But I'll put this on. This is what I've got so far. It's a very simple pattern. Put it on for you. Move my strings. There we go. It'll make a nice warm hat for winter. And I made this, I wanted to use the same hand spun that I used when I made my mittens. Carrie from My Old Mitten Farm had the Mittens in May knit along or spin along, where you used your hand spun to knit up mittens. And I had some leftover yarns, and since this was the Scrappy Hat, I thought I would just use what I had left. But it's going to be quite a game of yarn chicken here, because this is what I have of my round knee. So I may have to go with something else. And for the brown, I just have two strands held together of willow stream. And let's see, what else am I using? Well, let's see. I put them somewhere. Oh, they're over here. I have this left. This was some hand spun. Not sure what the name of this is called. This one here is Copper Roof. I do have more of this, but I need to spin some of it up. So this is going to put a little bit of different colors into this, which I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be some blues, some greens, some copper. Okay, so there's that. Have fun with that. It is fun, and the pattern on this is very nice. I do like this. You just see Bergninette, and it's a very simple pattern. It's a test knit that I'm doing for her. I think the test knitting now is closed. I'm not sure on that. You'll have to look her up on Instagram. But, okay, moving on. I've gotten quite a ways with my pink cardigan. I've got the back finished here. And then I did one of the fronts, and then I sewed the side down. So I'm not going to try this on, but kind of hold it up so you can see. I hope you can see me in here. The lighting is not the greatest right now, but I hope it's not too dark. But here is the front for that. And how I made this was just a 3x3 ribbing at the bottom, and then I did the moss stitch going all the way up. Okay. Next thing I wanted to share with you. Oh, yes, the corset cover. On Instagram, I talked about doing a corset cover from my Weldons magazine. This is the progress on that so far. I have it in my crochet bag. This is a crochet bag that I've done a while back. I had another podcast on that telling how I made it. But it's just a simple single crochet stitch with 3 strands of yarn held together. And then I did the handle a similar way that I done the other one. But here's the corset. This is the back. It's a corset cover. Yes, I do wear corsets sometimes. I find them very comfortable. Okay. But this is the back piece, and this was done with a 2x2 rib, and then it was 10 rows knitted stockinette stitch, and then the lace pattern going along every 10th or every 11th row, which is knit 2 with yarn and back, knit 2 together, knit 2 with the yarn and back, knit 2 together. And then the rest of the topping was just the same ribbing as the bottom. Okay, next I'm going to show you a couple more things. Okay, I wanted to get my book that I had the corset cover in. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm very sorry, I forgot to mention that there's a girl on YouTube. Her name is Bethany from Well Love Knits. She is the one that had the original video on the Swatch Bag. She has a very good YouTube channel, by the way. I've learned a lot from her. Her name's Bethany at Well Love Knits. Anyway, getting back to the corset cover here. I had got this pattern from my Weldons Practical Needlework. You can still buy these. I got these, some I got on thrift books. I think a couple of them I got on eBay. But they're a magazine from the 1890s, Victorian era magazine. And they have wonderful patterns in here of all different sorts. And this is the corset cover. And I kind of got a kick out of how it was read because they used quite different terms back in the day, and there's no gauge swatches. So what I had to do was just measure my body and just do extra stitches so it would fit my size. But the instructions call for 2 black vulcanite pins, and I thought, oh, what on earth are vulcanite pins? A number 9. Well, I found out number 9 in Victorian terms is a 5.5. But however, I did research what vulcanite pins are. And I have a couple pictures here to show you. As soon as I scroll them down here. Oh my, let's see. I know I had them in here. Oh, here we go. They're just little plastic pieces. Well, they're kind of like plastic, and what they were made out of was rubber combined with sulfur. Yeah, it was very interesting. Let's see if I have another. They came in a package like that, if you can see that. And I'll read this to you. It says, in 1839, Charles Goodyear discovered the method of mixing sulfur with rubber to form a hardened, vulcanized rubber called vulcanite. The proportion of sulfur can be increased or decreased in order to vary the required amount of hardening. I can imagine knitting with those. They would probably be quite nice, sort of what some of our plastic ones, equivalent to plastic is today. But there's that, and the instructions also called for mottled pink. Well, I got close to mottled pink as I could. This is about as close as I could get to that. But I'm using 2 strands of this held together. This is my favorite yarn. I know. I talk about this often because it's such good quality. It's not expensive. I'm just using 2 strands held together. And I tell you, I like this so much that I really, really want to do a cardigan with this fall. It's nice and light, yet it's, I'll tell you what it's got in it. It is 70% superwash wool and 30% silk. So very nice. Superwash wool is very nice. Okay, so how's everyone doing with the wildfires? I hope you're safe. I hope your air quality is safe enough to breathe. I really feel bad for the people in Canada right now. I'm noticing too that my husband and I we're more breathless than what we were before all this smoke in the air. But here where we live, it's not too bad. But we can see the haze in the sky. I think that's pretty much it. All I want to share with you today. Yeah. I really enjoy making these podcasts. I really do. I would say my favorite thing is the needlework podcast. But my channel is a little bit of everything, a little bit of cooking, a little bit of homesteading, later on gardening, maybe some canning. I'm not sure with that. We'll see. But I'll try to get these needlework podcasts in regular. And also, another thing I want to share with you are these. I love making vintage patterns and recreating them. I don't know if you can see over here, move the lamp out of the way. This was a vintage pattern that I got in a magazine called Golden Wheat. It's a doily. But a lot of those old patterns are in Workbasket magazine. Workbasket magazine is out of print now, of course. But back in the 50s and 60s, they had really wonderful patterns. And you can still find some of these on eBay if you look. This one here's a nice table cover. I made my son's last fall the 1954 vests out of there. There's a sweater. They really enjoyed those vests. But anyway, I don't want this video to be too long, so I hope you're having a wonderful day. Enjoy those needlework projects. I'm still keeping to my goals. And hopefully we'll see you again soon on another needlework podcast. I do have another cooking video coming up in a few days, so I'll be uploading that. But I thank you for sitting down with me today. Enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.